House Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer following the money in the Biden family influence peddling investigation. Yesterday on Sunday Morning Futures, he broke big news telling me that Joe Biden received $240,000 in laundered Chinese money from his brother in 2017 and 2018. And now Comer is going to be issuing about a dozen subpoenas, and the week could be this week. Watch this.
Subpoenas are imminent. I think this is going to be a big week. There are also a lot of other documents that I think are about to be released this week pertaining to loans and different things that the Bidens have been engaged in that make no sense, that are completely counter to what Joe Biden has said publicly. I don't think the average person can imagine how many different checking accounts the president's son had, and considering he didn't have a legitimate business, that in itself is an enormous red flag. So once all those come in, I think you're going to see swift action on Biden's, and I would predict somewhere around 24 subpoenas in the very near future.
So we're waiting on 24 subpoenas, Liz. That's going to include Biden family members as well as associates. And don't forget, they're also investigating a DOJ potential cover-up. They've got David Weiss, the prosecutor, coming in this week in the Judiciary Committee for an on-the-record testimony as well, Liz. Your reaction?
You know, Joe Biden very smugly asked reporters, where's the money, when this whole investigation began. And I have to give James Comer so much credit. They have methodically, persistently found records which are showing us exactly where the money is, where it was, where it came from. I don't think the American people are buying Joe Biden's denials any longer. Polling shows they no longer think that Joe Biden is honest. They think that something bad happened here. And guess what, Maria? They're right. These checks that not only show, there was one that showed, I think, $200,000 coming from a Chinese source and then $20,000 being peeled off going directly to Joe Biden. That is 10% for the big guy. Remember that? So I don't think there's much mystery about what went on here. What's unbelievable to me, and really, I know this is naive of me, the fact that the mainstream media continues to ignore this story of a sitting president basically being shown to be on the take, not just by businesses or allies of the United States, from China, from Russia, from Ukraine, countries that are not our friends and also that are enormously corrupt. So all Americans should be wondering, what does Joe Biden offer the Chinese? What did they get in return for all this money? I think it's very alarming, and the more we know about it, kudos to James Comer, the better off this country is.
Well, we would not know half of the stuff if it were not for James Comer. We would not know about the 176 suspicious activity reports, about the witness testimony, about all these emails. We also heard from Tony Bobulinski, Hunter Biden's ex-business partner. He says both he and the Biden family should publicly testify together before Congress after Hunter's lawyer alleged that Bobulinski lied to the FBI about their business relationship. I also spoke with Bobulinski. He writes this: if Hunter Biden and the Biden family are so determined to ensure that the full truth is put before the American people, then Hunter, Jim, Joe, and I should all appear together before Congress, publicly and under oath. We'll see if that happens, Mark.
I'd love to see that happen. I'd have my popcorn out watching, right? I'd be waiting to see what was the result of all that. But, you know, when you look at everything that's going on here, you know, Liz already pointed out the connection between the 10% for the big guy and the $40,000 check. They're claiming that these are loans, right? The $200,000 check, the $40,000 check. When was that $200,000 check stroked to James Biden? When was that for? So you gotta really dig deeper and figure out, you know, how can you prove this is a loan? Where's the interest rate? There is a minimum interest rate per IRS guidelines that you need to charge on loans to maintain an arm's length transaction. Where's the loan document? Where's the native file? So you can't create a fake loan document 10 years later after the fact. So, look, there's a lot of things that I think if you can actually get the Biden family to testify under oath, you can start to get to the bottom of a lot of this, and hopefully Comer's able to pull it off.
Yeah, what do you think, Liz?
Yeah, I think it's incredible that Hunter Biden is calling for an investigation into Tony Bobulinski. I mean, it really shows such a detachment from reality. It's a little bit like when he went after the mother of his love child on child support. It means that all his financial records could end up in court. And by the way, Bobulinski is extremely credible. I think it's a wonderful idea that he show up with Hunter Biden, and even better, of course, James and Joe, to actually answer these questions that the American press should have, Maria, but as we have seen, they still don't have.
Yeah, that's another scandal in and of itself.
It is.
We've got much more ahead this morning.